Our next topic of discussion here for the panel, we're going to discuss some of the things that make people genuinely feel comfortable when they come into the church. So I want you to take a moment and just kind of focus and just kind of think about that for a minute before you respond. What makes people feel genuinely welcome and accepted in the church when they come in from the community? Somebody's just coming in that they see everybody's going in every Sunday, they see the membership, they see people getting in their cars, and they're obviously not from the community, or some are, but they just want to know why they coming out there, why they happy, and see them fellowship in the parking lot, and people waving, saying goodbye. So, Patrice, you want to begin by telling me what you think make people feel genuinely welcome and accepted?
Well, for myself personally, I would say what makes me feel more welcome and genuinely accepted is when people greet you and they just say, hi, how are you? Just something as simple as that. Welcome. Did you enjoy the service? Is this your first time coming? Just asking me how did I like the service? Which part did I like about the service? But just asking me questions about myself as being a part of this church. So it helps me to visualize myself actually being a member here.
I was gonna say a greeter ministry is definitely needed. Just on a personal level, I went to Lakewood Church in Houston. And so Lakewood, if you're from out of town, they sit you like in the VIP section, close to Joel Osteen. And so just that treatment there, and they're like, oh, you're out of town, we're gonna sit you up, up close to see the whole service. So just that made a big difference. And if I lived in Houston, I would definitely attend that church. So you definitely need those greeters to ask how you're doing, because sometimes people need to vent and just talk about, their experiences. And then one of the people that worked there, he volunteers there, he ended up telling me more about him. He, I think, had just gotten out of jail, and they had volunteers that come in and work for him, and he just talked about how Joel Osteen saved his life and everything. So you find out more about that person as well. And then at the end of the service, you actually get to meet Joel Osteen. So you take a picture with him. It's like you only get 10 seconds, but it was, that made it personal.
So it was the greeters ministry, and then the leadership. What you said, he's like Joel Osteen, he is the leader of the church, he's the spiritual advisor, so he's welcoming as well.
Right.
It's not just the members doing it or a committee. He's actively involved.
Right, right. So he takes time out in between the services. He has two. So after that first 8 o'clock service, he, gives 30 minutes to the members or the people that came to actually greet them. I was like, wow, you get to do a photo op with them too. So I love it.
So what is your take on? So you feel that made your experience more personal?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely felt special to get a picture with someone I've seen on TV on Lifetime. So I was like, oh my God, I'm here. I'm actually here in the church, and it's so huge. And they have a youth ministry. So you see some of the things that they have that attract the people, and you see people, like thousands of people coming in at a time to hear that word. So the leadership is definitely a key factor, because even with Joel Osteen, he makes like jokes in the beginning. It makes the teaching relatable to something.
So here down on a smaller level, you think that could still be effective at a smaller church where the pastor may not be famous or worldwide, maybe just a local pastor.
But taking that time.
So that's the point. What you're making, that the fact that the pastor took time out.
Right, and the members take time out to talk to you. Definitely.
So how can churches move beyond simply just attracting people in here? When people come into the church, how can they move beyond just, okay, we want to get all these members, we want to have the church full of people. Okay, so Once the church gets to a point that they can begin to attract people, how can the church keep you? How can they keep the membership strong?
Some of that is, one thing that they can do is like encourage the members to be involved in certain committees and outreach that they do. As Ms. Tina said earlier, food pantry. Going to, if you have a prison ministry, go to the prisons, fellowship, I do outreach there. Different community organizations need things. You got domestic violence shelters, you got homeless shelters. I participated in various charitable activities and going to these domestic violence shelters, homeless shelters, food pantries. Or if you don't go to a food pantry, encourage the members to get together, write a grant, and work with Greater Food Depository. You can go to their site and help pack boxes and bags and things like that for them, or you can have the outreach where they can come to the church and pick up food, things of that nature.
How will the
People
church
feel
know?
like-
How will the church know? What will be the best way to find out what ministry or what the new member want to be active in? What would be the best way for the church to discover that?
You have to engage with that member, ask them what their interests are. Just as I believe we mentioned earlier on that if you wanna know what the youth will thrive from and what they like, you have to ask the youth. I have an idea, I know social media is everybody's, but what part or what point of social media are they attracted to that's gonna help the church and the youth work together? Encourage the youth, the leadership should encourage the youth to have like once a month or once a quarter, let the youth run the ministry. Let them have the day that they can have their leader amongst them do a service.
I think it would be, for me, how I'm viewing it, teaching them stewardship and discipleship,
Mm-hmm.
teaching them about their own spiritual growth before any of that can happen. Because one, spiritual growth is imperative for the numbers. Because if I have one whose spiritual growth is excelling, that one is able to go out and reach two.
Mm-hmm.
So mentorship, things like that.
And I was
Oh,
gonna say-
obviously, yeah.
I was gonna say, maybe they can do a poll, if they're on social media, I know you can do polls.
You can do
And you
both.
can ask the community, hey, what would you all like to see? So take that information from the polls to proceed.
So what role do you think that friendships make in mentoring relationships? And what role what role do you think that will play in the church?
I think the friendship piece, it allows for the people to have a sense of connection. And from that point there, growth and development takes place and can expand out.
So do you think that like churches should assign, as new members join, that they should assign different members of the congregation to kind of be like an overseer with them, somebody to kind of go
Mentor.
along with them?
Mentor, yeah.
And
Yes.
so kind of help them navigate their way around and like, what are your thoughts on that?
Like Zoe, she have she was what, second grade, third grade pen pal, or was that kindergarten when you was at school? So basically having them, okay, take my number, keep me on speed dial. I don't care what time of day it is, what time of night it is, because the spirit can come at any given moment.
So available.
And if that young person or that individual that has never been in that setting don't know what's going on, at least they will have someone, access to someone that's a resource. And can, you know, be readily, man,
Available.
because I'm feeling something and I don't know what it is. I need someone to help me decipher.
Somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
Somebody that can tell what they're feeling and
Yeah.
how they're feeling.
Yeah, and help guide.
Yeah. But I think it's important not to be like too overbearing too, because you don't want to pressure someone and you might lose that person too by contacting like, hey, like, okay, I know your number if I need to reach out. But I feel like when someone is calling them every day, like pressure, I think you can lose a person too. But yes, definitely give your number so that they can have a person to contact in case of,
In case
you know,
of-
in case of anything
Yeah.
at that point. So that's good.
But to go back to when you mentioned friendships, a lot of us are in a lot of situations because of our peers, right? And in this day and age, the youth are impressionable with certain peers, whether it's not positive or negative. So that peer connection may also be a thrust to get them to go. So like, oh man, I'm not going to church, man, you know you should go. You know, they have this and that going on today, let's go. We may miss something, you know, those types of things. Actually, to be honest with you, that's how I ended up in Trinity. A peer took me to church with her. And I ended up liking it. She took me again. And then eventually I ended up joining.
So that leads me right to my next question I was gonna ask. I was gonna ask, and can we just kind of go around the panel and share a time when somebody did influence you in church? You know, they were a positive influence on you. That, you know, you came into an environment you might have been a little uncomfortable with. Was there someone there that helped you navigate your way through church, help you feel more comfortable and feel, you know, that you were part of the ministry?
I think I answered that ahead of time, but coupled with that, I was encouraged to get into the food pantry ministry and the domestic violence ministry is one of my things that I was have become actively involved in. So
I would say for me, I was a member already, but I think to get more involved, I met a young lady, it's like my mom's friend, and she was like, I need you in this committee. So being on that committee helped me connect more with the neighborhood, like around Princeton Park and even Trinity. So you begin to find connections, businesses to connect with, to, you know, host a basketball game. Because basketball will, believe it or not, it will bring the youth, you know, to whatever you're trying to do. Food will bring the youth to whatever you're trying to do. So I would say just that connection with my mom's friend helped me to get a better connection with the community.
Let's see. I'm trying to think because the church I grew up going to, we had been going there since we were like small children. So, I just, as I got older, you know, as you're young, you know, you do the choir, you do, you know, the Easter programs, you do all those. And, yeah, we used to meet at Vacation Bible School. That was always fun. And yeah, we used to do it with our friends, call them up, like, hey, you know, it's another couple of weeks, am I gonna see you?
Right.
So then we would do that together. As an adult, and volunteer for like some of the other ministries they had, like the health ministry. I helped with like the dance ministry, and then also volunteered in supporting the children's ministry as well. And then of course I got my adult friends. We were like, come on, let's go help and let's go take care of the children. So, yeah.
And like pay it back.
Yes, yes, pay back. Yes, absolutely.
For me, as far as friends are concerned, where I grew up at and how I grew up, a lot of my friends didn't attend church. And the ones that I did befriend in the church, they was trying to get out of the church. You know what I'm saying? So
That's a good spin on that.
you know what I'm saying? So it was like, okay, I can't follow you because I'm gonna get beat.
Right.
I'm not playing with my mama because my mom deep down south raised in that manner as far as the church is concerned. As I came into my adulthood, I volunteered my time to coaching baseball, and I did that for like 7 years, and that right there allowed me to develop a more bond and strengthen the friendships within the parents of the team and developing those friendships. And even when I met my best friend, it was just so happened we would kind of raised along the same lines, so instantly the connection with the Lord and Savior was already there, so that blossomed the friendship. So.
I have a question. When you said that they were trying to get out of the church, was there any reason behind it? Like, were they saying like church is boring, or
Well,
they didn't, you know?
they were more drawn to the streets.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying? Versus
It's getting that
being there on Tuesday night,
Mm-hmm.
being there on Wednesday night,
Mm-hmm.
being there on Friday night,
Everybody.
then coming right back, being there all day Sunday, then traveling to other churches on Sunday. So it was, and I look at it now that we're speaking on that, they were, in a sense, getting burned out.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Because they didn't have
The time to themselves.
to develop
Mm-hmm.
as a child or as a young person. So that's what I meant by they were trying to get out of the church, and I was like, man, church is cool. You know what I'm saying? Church is cool. Why y'all don't want to come?
Right.
You know what I'm saying, man? So yeah.
That's a good point though. Burnout as a young, that might be a reason why they're not coming now, because they you know feel like they've been burned out.
And they
And
might
what
not
they
have
hear.
had, with the ear. Yeah, and they might not have had that type of rearing as well.
Mhm,
Right.
mhm,
You see what I'm saying? That was a different type of rearing back then
Right.
for me.
mhm.
You know, because it was,
Wow.
for my house, you gonna serve
Mhm.
by hook or crook. Nowadays,
It's an option.
it's an option.
Right, we didn't have options.
And going back to the point of the burnout,
Mhm.
it's people my age now.
That are burned
That
out.
burn out. That's a good. Yeah, that's a good point.
So they're not gonna push that off on.
Their kids.
Their kids.
Right.
So, and, you know, as we get ready to close, one other quick question, I want you to elaborate on it a little more, as far as the burnout part, and so do you think that is one of the biggest disconnects that we have, because the parents were burned out, or they allow the children to make a decision, and instead of the parents making a decision for them, that this is our lifestyle, we're gonna go to church, and we're gonna do this and that, because they were burned out, they gave the kids an opportunity to say whether they wanted to go or not. And because the parents wasn't going, so the kid didn't have to go.
Yes, I think that is a big part of what's happening right now, because as my peers, as I talk to people around my age, it's like, Brooks, you still go? Like, yeah, I go. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, and I said, okay, I understand. You were forced into a situation when your thoughts and feelings weren't considered.
Correct.
Your voice in the matter wasn't considered, So therefore, you completely removed from it. That's why I think a lot of young people today are disconnected, because the foundation that their parents were getting has been cracked.
Right.
So they don't get what
They don't see the value.
they don't see the value
Yeah.
of.
Belonging to a church community, they don't see the value in.
Serving. They don't see the value in serving
Right.
and not understanding the meaning of serving. Because I think that we serve him anyway, whether I'm in the ministry or not. I'm here to serve,
Right.
no matter what. And they don't get that. And folks my age,
I'm not teaching it either.
Right.
They're not instilling it in their children, so how are the children gonna get it if they're not getting it?
exactly, exactly. That part right there.
And I was gonna say, just as teaching, like a lot of skills or, moral values, they're not there. So it's like the teacher is playing like that parent, like, no, we don't do that.
Yeah,
So.
big time, big time.
Okay, well, this was a great discussion. We look forward to the future talks. So I guess we have to, in order to go forward, we have to continue on these discussions. We have to continue on moving in a direction that's going to be positive for not just the child, but for the parent as well. So we have to find a way to re-engage them in a way that it won't be overbearing and they can enjoy coming to church and enjoy getting back involved in the ministry. Till next time we meet.